Hello, everyone. My name is Gallia Kastner, and I am the concertmaster for the American Youth Symphony. I'm here with Philip Marten, AYS alumni and former concertmaster for the 2015-2016 season, to learn more about how AYS prepared him for life as a professional musician. AYS has a large network of alumni working as professional musicians across the globe. Philip is currently assistant concertmaster at the Cincinnati Symphony. Hi, Philip. Thank you for joining us from Cincinnati.
Hi, Galia. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here and reconnecting with everybody at AYS. This is awesome.
I don't know if you remember me, but a few years ago in your last year with AYS, I sat next to you.
I
Um,
do remember, yeah.
yeah, you were odd, and I was just a sub at the time. Everyone
Right.
in front of me had been gone for some reason, so they put me right in front with you, and you inspired me to audition for AYS, so I have you to
That's
thank.
awesome. You were there for the whole week, right?
I was,
I
yes.
do remember that. Okay. That was
Awesome.
a fun week.
So we'll dive into the first question. When were you concertmaster with AYS, and do you have any favorite memories?
I was only there for a year, just the 15-16 season while I was doing a year of masters at USC. I think probably the most memorable thing for me was when we played in Disney Hall and we did a piece by Tan Dun that was like full orchestra and children's choir. And it was like this huge thing. And it was probably one of the biggest productions that I had been a part of up to that point. And of course, playing in Disney Hall for the first time feels like, oh, I finally made it. It's up there with Carnegie as like one of those places where you just have to play.
How did being concertmaster of AYS prepare you for your current role as assistant concertmaster for the Cincinnati Symphony?
AYS operates more like a professional orchestra than like a youth symphony in a lot of ways, and even more like a professional orchestra than a lot of like school orchestras do. So it's one thing to go into your orchestra class, whereas with AYS, it's still educational to a certain extent, but they do treat you a little bit more like, here's the schedule, here's the program, there's a personnel manager that's on top of things. There's just a certain level of operation. Also in the variety of concerts that you do, like movie concerts. That was my first experience doing a movie concert. That was huge
Yeah.
because now I do those all the time. I mean, that's a really important thing that you do not do at school.
Right.
Um, and even down to like I'm sure you've had the experience of them asking principals or assistant principals to do chamber music concerts or house concerts and things like that. I mean, that's something that I run into now as a professional that doesn't happen a lot at school or in, you know, a lot of other kind of more typical youth symphonies around the country. So I think just the way they treat you and the way they operate is a nice foot in the door to what your future is going to look like.
What are some unique situations or experiences you have found yourself in as a concertmaster?
In AYS, the year that I was there was the year they were looking for a music director. And happily, they ended up with Carlos, who, as far as I know, has been doing a brilliant job, which is very exciting. And I remember when he came to audition, I thought he was fantastic. So I'm thrilled that he's there. But going through the process of having a different conductor for almost every single concert was really interesting, especially in a leadership position, because you have to learn how to communicate with each one of them over like starting new each and every time. And which again goes back to your question about how that prepares you, because you have lots of guest conductors in professional orchestras, and that's a very useful tool.
What advice do you have for musicians training for concertmaster roles?
Well, practice.
Right.
Practice. Go practice.
Practice. Yeah. Practicing, concertmaster excerpts, incorporating.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. I mean, I think concertmasters have to be very well rounded.
Yeah.
I'm not even convinced that concertmasters are always, often they are, but they're not always the best player in the orchestra, but they're always the most well rounded. They always kind of have a great sense of musicality and a great understanding of the music and a great understanding of communicating. Yeah, okay, so practicing is the number one most important thing, but also stepping away from the violin and looking at the music, I
Mhm.
think is equally important. And I shouldn't reduce that factor, because you have to look at the score. You have to pay attention to what's happening. You have to know how to solve problems, musical problems, and not just technical ones. So I think approaching both of those kind of tracks is equally important, but practice.
Yes. Every day.
Well, most days.
Whatever you can. Thank you so much, Philip, for joining us today. It was an absolute
Yeah, thank you.
re-meeting you again, and we are wishing you luck and safety and health.
Oh, same to you. It
Yeah.
was an honor.
Thank you so much.